What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Let's Take a Walk. Um, we was here last night, and we're here tonight. And so, just like last night, we had an awesome guest. Tonight, we have an even awesomer guest. I mean, I guess I made up a word right then. Um, this young lady is not just an anointed and talented artist, singer, songwriter, teacher, you name it, she does it. But she is a friend of mine. She is my sister. So it's always a treat to have family on the show. That familiarity is like finding money. So without further ado, I want to introduce my friend, my sister, Miss Lisa McClendon. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Miss McClendon, I'm going to give her a moment to kind of reintroduce herself and give a little background on who she is and what she exactly has going on. So with that being said, you have the floor.
Take it away. Hey,
Yes.
hey everybody. Oh God, excited to be here. Lisa McClendon here, international recording artist. Man, see, I want to let him introduce me, but I just want to say I want to dedicate this conversation with a good friend of mine, Mike Robinson, to ADHD awareness, which is coming up next month, my birthday month. Hey, a lot of people don't know about what ADHD is, and I just really encourage you all to really look deep into what it is, and just having the awareness can allow you to support somebody who really struggles with it. It's something I was recently diagnosed with, onset ADHD. I also work with kids who deal with it heavily, and it is heartbreaking to see the struggle. But you and I together can support the understanding of it, because it is not an excuse, but ADHD is an explanation. So without further ado, let's do this. Yes.
Okay. So first off, I want to thank you again for coming on the platform, because I know that you're super busy, especially now. I really, really appreciate it, and I do not count it a small thing. Thank you. So I'm going to ask you what I asked Miss Bria Miles last night. Shout out to Bria Miles. At this point in your career, who are you?
Oh, man. A mature, aware, connected, and evolved woman. Black woman. Hey,
Okay.
I think those particular words really describe who I know that I am right now. Just very connected, very aware. Yeah, very aware, connected, Black woman for sure.
Awesome. Now, I've known you for some time now. We went to school together
Yeah,
for a time, and you've always been kind of a neo soul before there was neo soul. You know, I think I told you
yeah,
the last interview. I think I told you you were Lauryn Hill before there was a Lauryn Hill.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember,
So
yeah.
so the answer that you gave me is not surprising to me,
No,
because I think of you as a an ever evolving not character, but uh, an ever evolving presence.
yeah. With
And
the
so,
smile, with the smile.
absolutely, absolutely. So let's dive in. First off, let me tell you, when I announced that you were coming on the platform today, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will not believe how many people hit me up in DMs and postings. It was like, oh my God, I remember her. I still have her CD. I love Holy Soul. I love telling me songs that they liked, and oh man, you got her on the show. Not realizing that you've been on before.
Yeah,
But
you're right, right.
yeah, right. But I say that to say that, you know, even now, you know, your impact is still being felt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how does that Do you feel that? Like, do you encounter that even now? Like people approach you about their previous projects and things of that nature, and if they do, how does that make you feel? Like,
You know what I can liken it into is like, not in a bad way, but it's like being asleep and then an
mm,
alarm goes off and it wakes you up.
wow,
Like, hey, remember who you are. Because I'm not walking around every day thinking, oh, I'm Lisa McClendon that does this, 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 this. I'm just walking around being me, like I say, evolving, learning, growing.
mhm.
And every now and then, somebody will stop me in the most unexpected place. For instance, I went to New Edition concert when they were here. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, I love New Edition. And I went to the New Edition concert and I am literally waiting in line to go through the security line to go through to get in. And this man and woman comes and they're like, I kind of see them to the side, but I'm not really, I see them, but I'm not paying attention, paying
Right,
attention. And they're
right,
like, "Are you Lisa McClendon?" That was funny. And it was like, oh my God, the typical, but not taken for granted, but the narrative of, man, we really enjoy your music, da, da, da. And I'm like, man, I am in the line going to see New Edition. And it was like God's way of saying, I want you to remember who you are. While you're going to celebrate New Edition, there are people still celebrating what you're doing. And I was just like,
absolutely.
wow. And then like a month later, I was at a Boys and Girls Club event
Mhm.
celebrating children, and a parent walks up to me and says, "Are you Lisa McClendon?" And I was like, "Yeah." And the whole family just embraced me and loved me and asked for pictures. I'm working, and
Yeah,
I'm at the gala taking pictures. And then just recently, one of my students, mom was signing her out for the day, and she was like, "No," she was at a parent orientation, and she said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I was like, "Sure." I'm working. I'm not thinking. And she's like, "Are you like the Lisa McClendon?" And I just bust out laughing. I say, "Yes, ma'am." She's like, "Oh my God!" And my daughter goes, and it's just so, yeah, I get that. But again, it is an alarm, and it's always, I feel like God's way reminding me to never forget the impact that I make on people's lives. No matter where you are, no matter where you go, there's another side of you that you can't forget. It is a part of who you are.
oh wow,
Mhm.
that is so awesome. Like that has to be indescribable.
It is. It is.
Let's talk about this new single, Mood. Um, when I heard it, it kind of, you know what? It kind of was the period
Mhm.
on kind of like the sentence that you have been writing. And I'm trying not to sound corny, but
You
um
don't sound corny at all. That's so poetic.
yeah,
That's so poetic.
I think
Yes.
that I think that Mood was like a period on a sentence that you've been writing for the last
For
probably year or so.
sheesh, 5 years.
Um, and I'm going to tell you how. For me, because this that's I think about a year ago is when I really started noticing it.
Mhm.
Now, like I said, I've known you for a long time, and I've never really known you to be girly.
That's
But
true. No, that's true because you've known me since
yeah,
I was a kid.
yeah.
Like,
And
wow.
and lately I've been seeing you, and dare I say you sexy?
Thank
And
you.
like, and
Yes.
I'm like,
You
ah.
did it. But you know what? Okay. So here's the thing.
Yeah,
That's so awesome. Thank you for that. My dad did that.
really.
Yes. So I'm a PK. I was raised in a Pentecostal church. And just what I've seen growing up is always the very over the top, covered up, no pants, no makeup, um, just just what you've seen. That's the way I was raised. Everybody around me, every woman around me was that way because of the tradition and the culture of the church that I was raised in. So my dad was talking to me one day when I started dating again, and my dad said, I want to tell you something, baby." He was like, "It's okay for you to wear dresses," and I'm thinking, "What? I'm 40-something years old. He was like, there's a lot of things that we didn't know. We meant well. There's a lot of things that we didn't know coming up in the church, and we just wanted to protect y'all. He was like, well, you have a nice figure. Like, I want you to go. And he said it. He said, I want you to go buy 5 dresses. And he's like, I want you to wear your dresses. He was like, men like dresses. I want you to wear dresses. And I was like, okay, daddy. Like, okay. So when I bought the dresses, I actually took pictures in the dresses and sent them to my dad. And he was like, girl, you look good. The girl got her daddy's approval. And guy friends of mine were like, oh my God, I didn't even know you had a figure. I thought you were Muslim. And I'm like, are you serious? I never paid any attention because it was just who I was. And so I'm happy because I believe women can show their sexiness, if you will, without being over the top to where I don't know what word to use, but because everybody's over the top is different. Everybody's different. So what may not work for somebody may work for somebody else. So I don't ever like to tread in those waters, but just being in a place where it can be tasteful, I should say.
Right.
So I'm happy that I'm been able to do that. But my dad, I really applaud my dad for just speaking into my life. It's never too late for a father to speak into a daughter's life. Ooh, that'll preach. It's never too late for a father to speak into a daughter's life and a mother. And so my dad freed me there.
Absolutely. And like I said, and maybe it's been longer than a year, but it just feels like in my mind, it's been like a year. And mood, after listening to it, just listening to the words of it or whatever, it just kind of was like a cap or like a period to the sentence that I've been seeing you write here in recent years, almost like a reinventing, like a reinventing of yourself. But
yes.
So what's the vision behind Mood? What's the story? How did that come to fruition? Like, what was that all about? What was that process like?
So Mood is the lead off to a collection of songs that really promote self-awareness and self-care. And so Mood, simple story, I was coming in from a very long day and I was freaking exhausted. Like when your head hurt because you're so tired. And I had just had a friend girl reach out to me and she was like, hey, you want to go out? And I'm all for going out and hanging out. I love to socialize. Any place where people are, where I can talk and meet new people, that is my thing. But I was just too tired that night. And I was like, girl, I ain't going nowhere. I'm about to light me some candles, which I'm notorious for. I sleep with candles every night. It's just very calming. And I was like, I'm going to just make me a cup of tea. I'm in. And I was just like, I just want to create my own mood. And so with Mood, and that's how the song, I was like, oh, that's okay. We going to write that, because the message behind Mood is I don't need a second person around me to create an atmosphere. And I think what I'm seeing, and not just women, I know men too, but I can only speak to women better because I am a woman. It's like we find ourselves in these very compromising situations. I've done it. Very compromising relationships and situations because we haven't found peace in being alone. We haven't found peace in, I can sit on the couch and not have to be anywhere, or I can take myself to dinner and it's okay. And I love people. I love being around people, but I don't have to do it all the time. And so I just wanted to start that narrative, like create your own mood, create your own space where you need you. You
there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, good. We're good.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So that's what it is. Mood is the mood is about empowering you to create your own space, your own mood alone, and being okay with being alone as long as you need to be. You don't have to be for the rest of your life, but while you are, learn to enjoy your own company, because you never want to invite somebody to a place that you're not enjoying.
Okay. So why now?
Because that's where I'm at. I started dating again, and I've had So I've had some good dates. I've had some dreary dates. So I switch that. um, like I've dated some guys who were very toxic, and I won't say some. I've only had one situation that was really toxic, and I was like, wow, how did I end up here? But it was a very good learning lesson for me. And then I've dated guys who were very sweet guys, but just wasn't for me.
Right.
Or it just wasn't time. Like I was like, man, I got a lot going on, and when you got a guy saying, man, you ain't return my call, man, or I'm on the phone and I'm annoyed because I got other stuff to do. It's like sometimes I have to tell myself it's okay if you don't want to date right now. It's okay if you want to come off the dating app right now, or if you don't want to meet anybody. It's okay. Like society may tell you something's wrong with you if you're not dating, if you're not in a relationship. And I'm like, society doesn't define who I am. Society doesn't get to tell me when and why, how I should do. I define that. And I know when I'm ready to do something, when I'm not. And so right now I'm in a season that I'm like, okay, I've done some dating. It had some bad time dates and I've had some good dates. And now I'm just doing me. I'm just chilling right now. And I think sometimes women get afraid to be in that space. They don't know how to be in that space, to take a break. So I'm in a place right now where I'm in my own mood. I'm creating my own space. I'm reaching my own goals. I have things I want to do, things I want to accomplish before I turn 50, and I don't need too many distractions right now.
Got you. I think that what's funny is that you have put yourself in a position where you are living a quote unquote regular life.
Yeah.
People have seen you in this space, in this this celebrity quote unquote space. And so as far as they're concerned, you're still in that space because that's where they left you. That's where they saw you. So
Right.
it's kind of unusual to see you doing regular things, living a regular life. It's like for instance, you mentioned the dating app. Lisa McClendon doing the dating app. For some people that may be mind blowing because to them, you're Lisa McClendon. You know what I'm saying? You are holy Lisa McClendon. You know what I mean? So I think that that's something that the supporters, the fans, told me not you, and the supporters have to kind of deal with, or have to reconcile within themselves, because you have a right to regular.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody's regular. They have dating apps for celebrities too. They have dating apps for celebrities. I'm not on that one, but I've learned about the dating apps that celebrities have, but you have to be invited by another celebrity to be a part. Hey y'all, invite me. But I mean, they invite me. But no, I mean, even as regular people, all of us, we should still have standards. So don't get it twisted. Everybody on the dating app doesn't get my attention. Maybe that's why. Like I have some friends who on it too, and I'm like, girl, how you have all these dates? Because I'm so selective, and I know who I am, so I have to. And not that she doesn't, but I'm just like I'm very selective, and because of who I am and what I've done, I have to be selective about who I let in my space. I don't let people know right away that I'm Lisa McClendon, the singer. Sometimes I've had a couple of guys figure that out later on, but it's not easy for me because then you don't know people dating you for the wrong reason.
right. Absolutely.
It's weird. But like I said, I've had some good, but I'm regular. I mean, I cook, I wash dishes. I go to the car. I go to the concerts and see other artists. I go get my car washed, which I need to go do in the morning. So I mean, I get what you're saying. You know what? I think though, social media has helped us to be regular, because a lot of celebrities are allowing people to come into their lives and let you see that we're no different than you are. We have good days and bad days. Like I recently revealed that I deal with anxiety attacks. And people message me like, oh my God, thank you for sharing that because I deal with that too. So I think people seeing that lets them know that they're not alone.
think that,
No, just I said that they just know that they're not alone. Everybody deals with this stuff. Everybody. Okay, you can say something. I see you now.
right, right. Wow.
Did you hear me? Or did it cut off?
Yeah. No, I can hear you.
Okay.
It's still going. So,
Yes.
um, so let's kind of delve a little deeper. Okay. So we know you as Lisa McClendon, the Christian slash gospel inspirational artist, because that's where we last left you.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you see yourself in terms of being an artist? What are you at this point? Do you not have, do you wear that title of quote unquote Christian artist, or have you
I think
shed that and now you?
no, I think I always had that title. Because I mean, no, but if you think about it, my music. Somebody was sharing this with me recently. Actually, one of my producers that I'm known for working with, Mo Henderson, and when we were discussing mood, he was like, "But you've always been cutting edge, right? You've always been. I'm never going to be a traditional Christian artist ever. I never have been. Never. Even when I did You Are Holy,
Mhm.
it always had a
Right,
Secret Garden, Quincy
right.
Jones Secret Garden ending. so I mean I'm gonna always be a part of the gospel world, because I'm gonna always forever have music that I've recorded that has that
Mhm.
is under that genre. Even some of the singles that I'm getting ready to release, the next single that I'm getting ready to release that I won't reveal now. It goes more back to a You Are Holy um genre, if you will. So no, I think I'm all that. I think if I had to describe myself, it would be more of a soul, gospel, jazz, because my
Gotcha.
sound encompasses all those. I don't think I'm ever one without the other, because I think no matter what I do, I will always sing the good news. So that there's the gospel
Mhm.
component. I'm gonna always have that soulful sound. There's that soul component, and I'm always going to have that jazz influence. There's that jazz component. So that's going to always be me. I don't think there's no need to share anything, because it's all still a part of who I am.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So so do you feel like you're back in full-fledged artist mode? Like, is this just a passion project that you're just gonna do, or do you
Oh,
feel like you're back in completely in artist mode?
I can safely say that I'm back in complete artist mode. I'm walking towards that way. I'll say it that way. And I only said that way because I'm not full time as of yet. I work for a major nonprofit as an art director for after school program, which I love to do. Um, and as long as I'm doing that, that has a lot of my attention. And I'm a student right now. I have one more year to complete my degree in media psychology. So I think, but in my head, in my mind, I think I'm always a full fledged artist. But as far as giving it all of my time, I'm really working and doing the things I need to do so that I can do that, because that's what I'm designed to do. That's what I've been created to be. So not just one song and that's it. You're gonna keep hearing music. That's the goal, to keep hearing music. New music coming, new music next 3 months, another song, another song. That's the goal.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so lately I've been talking to I've had quite a few artists on the platform lately, and a few of them have been female, and it's mainly and I've seen it mainly with females. I'm sure that men deal with it too, but particularly in the Christian genre of music, we're talking about marketing and imaging, right? And we're talking about the dichotomy between the Christian and the secular, the quote unquote secular artists, and
Mhm.
how they go about packaging their artist or imaging their artist or marketing their artist, and particularly with the females. And so, you know, I have questioned them about what that process is like. And I've had some, they say, just like you were saying earlier, to your point earlier about traditional, mode of thinking where everything's covered, modest. Some even said no, like you were saying, no makeup and, very dry. But then others will tell you, hey, look, I like certain jewelry. I like certain brand names. I like a certain style of dress or, presenting myself. And if somebody is looking at me up for something other than my ministry, then that's really their issue and not necessarily my issue. Where do you stand as it pertains to imaging, it's particularly when, we were talking earlier about how you've kind of morphed into this woman, you know what I mean? So like, how does that, how do you see that?
So something I've learned that's really helped me and helps me to see the way I do see is everybody's different.
Gotcha.
You could literally be standing in a room full of people, Mike, and you could have on what you have on right now, baseball cap, pullover, Timbs or sneakers or whatever. And you're going to have somebody say, a pastor shouldn't be dressed like that. That's
Right.
you look too much. You look too worldly,
Right.
Then you have somebody else saying, "Man, you are influence to the young people. They can see that you can be cool." And then somebody else who knows you be like, "No, that's just Mike."
Right.
Everybody's perspective is different, and you, as one individual, will go crazy trying to appease everybody's perspective.
That's a
It is
fact.
absolutely impossible.
That's a
So
fact.
the best thing that you can do is be yourself. And whoever you're for, you're for. And whoever you're not for, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just different. And God will lead them to whoever fits what they need. And so that's my stance on it. I cannot be overwhelmed by trying to please everybody's biases. Not happening. I got my own way. I'm going to be who I am. I'm very connected and tuned with the voice of God. I know when something is not right for me, or if it's not right in this setting. When I go, okay, I just went somewhere. I performed. I had a radio interview. Yeah, I had a radio interview, and because of the radio show, I felt, because I knew their audience, that I dressed a certain way for their audience, because it wasn't my platform, it was their platform. And you invited me to your house. So if I'm coming to your house, I'm going to respect your house, but we ain't at your house.
Right.
I'm not at your house. So that's my stance on it. I respect your house if I'm in your house, but if I'm not in your house, all bets are off. I'm just going to do me and be true to myself.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. It's very interesting because, like I said, and it's been my experience that, on both sides of the spectrum, you have people who will tell you basically, wear nothing, holes in your shirt, dirty shoes, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then on the other side, somebody will tell you, look, you're not winning nobody if you're not dressed a certain way, because you gotta project a certain image or project a certain message to the people. I can't, if I'm telling you the God that I serve is rich and has many mansions and this and that and third, I can't go up there looking
homeless.
Exactly. But then on the flip side of that, somebody will tell you, we are the servants of God and nothing should take away from the person's attention because the focus is totally on God. So we are nothing. We are just vessels. So we should just be just that. You know what I'm saying? No bells, no whistles, no special effects. So it's like it has to be super tough for artists. Like to your point earlier, it's like you cannot win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
Because
winning. They losing because I'm good. And I think about tell that to Solomon.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like tell that to
Yeah.
Solomon. Do you think one of the richest men in the world ever was dressed looking like a homeless man and did he not have a relationship with God?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just sometimes people, it's just what they're taught, it's their culture, it's their upbringing, and I respect it because that's just all they know. And it's hard to break biases when people have believe something for so long. That's a hard thing to break. It's just a hard thing to break. I see the sister say it has to be a balance. Who's balanced? So, I mean, she makes a good point, but it's just again, who's balanced? Who's measuring it? And he said, "Well, God, well, who? Everybody's different, so it's just you just gotta know that you're doing what you need to do, and you got to be at peace with you just got to be at peace with it. Because if you don't, you'll be trying to please everybody, and somebody else will say, "Well, that's not balanced," and this person say, "Well, that's not balanced," and you're like, "Oh my God, well, who? I can't win." So just don't even try it. It's just like don't even. It's too much. It's like when I go home to visit, I used to always tell my family, "I'm one person. I'm gonna be at one spot. I need all y'all to come to me because I can't get to all y'all." You know what I'm saying? I don't have time. If I did that, I would lose time. But if all y'all came to me, that would be perfect. So you just gotta, you just gotta. And I think like she was saying balance. I think the balance again for me would just be when you're in somebody's house, then you just know what house you're in and you move accordingly. But if I'm not at your house, just because you say this, what if somebody else says something different? Who's right? They both serve God. Who's right? So
exactly. Yeah. Wow. I was telling somebody a couple weeks ago, I was like, when Kirk Franklin came out with I think it was the Fight of My Life project, where he did where this is it, that video. Right. Like that was in my city, that was a big deal in the church community. You had this man, he done took his shirt off, he's showing his muscles and this and that and third. That was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? People ready to cancel this guy because of this, because of this. But
But then the men in the Bible wore dresses. Okay.
Basically, right.
Robes, dresses. They wore over pieces with a rope. So, like again, you got to think about time. The time. Even the Bible talks about time. Think about the time. You got to think about the culture, and the culture is really particular. When people get out of where they were raised and they begin to travel, they begin to see that, man, God is the same God in the U.S. It's the same God in India. And everybody and the way they worship God in India and the way they look in India, totally different from the way the U.S. You have to remember that God is not an American God. No such thing. Not an American God. You know what I'm saying?
That's a bar. That's a bar.
And that's what we do. When we think about it, we do. We So it's like, okay. Like until you get out and see that people worship God in the way within the culture that God has blessed them with. You know what I'm saying? If God wanted us all to be the same, he would have made us all the same, but he didn't. So
that's a fact.
I think traveling would open people's minds and let them see, man, God is way bigger than my area code, my zip code.
Absolutely. And it has to be double for someone like, for like us. You know what I'm saying? Well, yes. I was already in a big city going to a small city, but I was there long enough to kind of get used to being that. And then, like you said, going out was like crazy. Like you said, you see a whole new, you see life in a totally different way. how important when you're in your creative process and you're building you're building your project and stuff like that. Um, how careful are you with influence? And what I mean by that is, like, I ask artists all the time, do you monitor or limit the amount of music that you actually listen to on a daily, whether it be R&B, gospel, just other artists in general? Can you be overly influenced? Can you listen to too much outside music to the point that it hinders your creative process?
I don't think so. Not for me. Not for me. No, not for me. Sometimes if I have writer's block, I would have to tap into, I won't say tap into, I'll just step back from what I'm doing, and I would just go enjoy music. It's not necessarily to be influenced too. I've done that as well, but more so to just relax my mind, because I'm like, okay, you're overthinking. I'm like, man, I can't come up with these lyrics. Just okay, then it's not the time to do it. So just step back from it and just go enjoy music. Just go be a regular person and just enjoy some music. And I'll just go and enjoy some music, and it'll unlock my mind. And then sometimes I just turn everything off, because when I put my mind in a blank space, it also allows me to unlock stagnation, or anytime I feel like I can't write. Sometimes I just have to look at some blank so my brain can unleash what's in there already. But no, it never bothers me. And it doesn't even have to be music. Sometimes I have to shut off from everything.
Gotcha.
TV, conversations. Sometimes I just need a break. But most of the time I can just tap into some music and just relax. It doesn't bother me.
Wow. That's awesome. I'm just really tripping about just the whole transformation, like the whole.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
really?
it's just really, it's because I just don't see you that way. You know what I'm saying?
You know me since I was a kid, though.
Right, that's a fact. But it's
Was that
funny.
that bad?
No, it's you know what? I it's people when you know a person for a long time, you like them for different reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I'm used to liking the personality. I'm used to liking the sense of humor. I'm used to
I still
that.
I still have that though.
I'm still used to that person. You know what I'm saying?
I still have that. I have
this
that
person
too.
is still there, but
Yes.
but you serious though. You serious though.
What does that mean? What does that mean that I'm serious?
Like you're looking like, not that you weren't before, but you're looking like you mean business now. Like you look more, for lack of better words, you look like you are really laser focused. Not that you weren't before, but you really can see. You can see that whatever direction that you're trying to go in, have you have focused on it, and that's what you're aiming for. And so to see that, it's just new. It's just new, and it's not in a bad way. It's just like, wow, you know what I mean? But
wow,
that's really awesome.
That's inspiring. Thank you for that. That's inspiring.
Aaron Mitchell said, "No nonsense."
Yeah. I have those conversations, Aaron, often with myself. She don't play.
Who would at this point, who would you say is your biggest influence?
Musically?
If you want to go musically.
It's just in general or in general?
Or whichever one you want to say.
You know what? I'm going to give you a weird answer. Okay. An answer that you're not going to expect. The biggest influence currently in my life, besides audiobooks, because I'm heavily listening to books. I'm reading a book now called Atomic Habits.
Hmm.
and another, I'm doing two books at the same time: Atomic Habits and Brain Hack.
Got
Um,
you.
Atomic Habits so that I can be a better human being, and Brain Hacks. Atomic Habits so I can be a better human being, and Brain Hacks so I can know how to do that because
Hmm.
of the things that I deal with neurologically. Neurologically, I'm saying that right. Brain Hacks is teaching me how to overcome those quote unquote limitations, because there's always a way around any limitation if you find it, if you look for it.
Hmm.
So that's a real big influence in my life. Human being wise, David Shan.
David
David
Shan.
Shan
Okay.
is a social proof podcast. He is a entrepreneur. He calls himself the king of podcasts. But
Okay.
I literally listen to this man every day because I don't know what people notice about me. I'm also very heavily business minded.
Got you.
One of my good friends, QB, he always say, you a businesswoman. He was like, I know you're an artist, but you're a businesswoman first. He's worked with me, so he knows me. I'm always thinking business. Because you
Right.
can sing all day, but if you don't know how to run your business, you know what I'm saying? You're just singing. That doesn't mean
Yep.
you're living. And
Right.
so that's where I've been heavily locked and loaded every single day. I listen to David Shan on how how to move as a businesswoman, so that business can meet my music, so that I can have some longevity, and then I can go back into music full time the way I desire to.
Wow.
Biggest influence in my life right now.
Okay. Um, you don't have to answer this because I know I remember last time we spoke about it. I kind of touched on it a little bit, and you weren't really feeling it. But I'm gonna ask you. Um, being in the industry, I'm sure that you rubbed elbows with you know some some of everybody or whatever. Is there anybody that you still keep in contact with? Even now that speaks into your life.
I do remember this question, and I got the same answer. And the only reason I have the same answer is because I don't like name dropping.
Got you. Got you.
No,
Got
even in
you.
my cell phone, I have all my industry friends' names as aliases, because I'm like, if somebody ever found my phone, I just want to protect them.
Mhm.
I don't feel like I need to announce who I know. It's, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, they know me. How about that? You know what I'm saying? So does that make sense? But yes, I do have a few friends that I still connect with.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say their names, but I do have a couple of friends that I still connect with, and that encourages me. And, oh, you back, girl? Let's do this, stuff like that. And
Mhm.
that's really inspiring and encouraging, to know that they still consider me a part of the team, a part of the tribe, I should say,
Right.
part of the
Right.
tribe. But yeah, no names,
I,
no
I
names.
don't. I don't. I haven't seen, and maybe you have, but I haven't seen. I haven't seen you do like features or either have features or do features. Is that on purpose?
You know what? I haven't. I just don't think about it. I don't think about it. I don't think about it. I remember when I was signed to a major label, they wanted me to do a feature and I was not having it. I was so annoyed. One, because they were trying to choose it for me and I didn't want that. But I
Hmm.
now, now that I've evolved and grown, I understand business and I see why they were doing it. It makes sense to me now,
Hmm.
but I just don't think about it. I had one feature, Sean Simmons, was on one of my songs, Million Dollar, phenomenal artist. But if I had to do some collaboration, not had to, if I could have my
Hmm.
dream collaboration, it would definitely be PJ Morton. I hands down absolutely love him. I think he is the closest thing to my aspiration as an artist. PK, which I'm a PK as well, who wants to merge just everyday life music with the gospel. I think he does that effortlessly. And I think I've been doing that. I just didn't realize I was doing that. But Mo, like, he was
Hmm.
like, you do that, right? Um, and it just, to me, he is the epitome of what it is that I desire to do, but he's just on another level than I am currently. And I say that currently because I know where I'm going. and I know who I am.
That's
But
right.
he would be an amazing collaborator. He will be my dream collaboration. He was my biggest influence when I first came into the industry. The hands
Mm,
down, absolute. Before he was PJ Morton, he was with a group. He had a group called Freestyle Nation, and I must have listened to that album every day in the studio for inspiration. So hands down, PJ Morton would be my dream collaboration.
wow. Okay. So, hey,
With the
that
smile,
marks off that question.
yes.
Okay, I also have so tell me, what would you say um, is the most common misconception that people have about you?
Oh, I don't even know what they think about me. I don't care. Um, I don't know. I don't know because I stopped thinking about what people thinking about. I don't know. Um, I honestly don't know.
Are you at this point? I'm listening to you. Are you free?
I
Do you
am.
at this point do you feel free, like 100% free?
Yeah. Like I don't care. You know, yeah. I don't care to be in a negative space. Um, that's important to me because being someone who does deal with anxiety and panic attacks is very important for me to protect my surroundings. It's important for me to protect my income, my income, my intake, what's coming in. It's
Right.
very important for me. It's just super important to me. And so some spaces I don't even allow myself to be in. Some conversations I make myself not be a part of,
Hmm.
because I have to make sure that that I protect me. I have to
Okay.
protect me. I have to protect what I know God has given me. And yeah, and when you care too much about what people think, it's overwhelming. And I don't care to be overwhelmed.
Right.
No, I
Right.
don't benefit from that.
Right.
No, it's not important.
So tell me this. What's the hardest thing for you not to do at this point
Oh,
in
that's a
your
good
career?
question. Am I what?
What in this at this point in your career, what's the hardest thing for you not to do?
Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question. That is probably the best questions I've ever had. The hardest thing for me not to do, probably overthink because I'm a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly having conversations with myself. And if you could be in my head, you would like die laughing because I literally talk to myself like I talk to other people. And I'll say something like, "What we're not doing, we're not
Right.
doing that." I'm
Right.
literally talking to myself. Like if
Right.
I hear my brain going, if I
Mm-hmm.
do happen to see something that I wasn't trying to see that was a negative towards me or not supportive in what I do, immediately I come into defensive mode about me. And
Right.
I step in front of me and say, what we're not doing is that. You don't get to entertain that. You don't get to respond to that. You don't get to say anything about that. You don't get to think, girl, Letitia, you don't get to think about that. You don't get to do that. And so that is it's not super hard, but it is the hardest. But I that overthinking, ooh, and that for me, that is the thing that triggers when I do have panic attacks. That's the thing that triggers. I wake up and I'm
Mm.
like, and I'm literally sitting in bed like, really? Really? Are we really doing this right now? I'm like, oh my goodness. But it's because it's autopilot. I've been doing it for so long
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that I don't want to. So then the me that's different is fighting against the old me. So
Mm-hmm.
it triggers and then so that I'm in panic mode and I'm like, literally, like, come on, we're not doing this, and then I just have to
Yeah.
talk to myself. We're not doing that.
And the funny thing is, and it's kind of like ironic, the person that I knew you to be was more like what you're saying you are. It appeared to be
No, I get what
more
you're
like what you're saying now. You
No,
get
I
what I'm
get what you're
saying? Does that
saying.
make
Oh,
sense?
that's good. That's good and it's right. And the reason and what happened was when life starts hitting you, it changes you. So
Mm,
it took my innocence away.
mm,
So what you saw was a untainted, unbothered Lisa. I didn't have a care in the world. And look, a lot of times we don't have a care in the world when we ain't got no bills either. So I was in a great family, home
right,
dynamic.
right.
Um, and my parents are both doing, doing very well now. But since my parents divorced, that was a huge impact on my life. That
Hmm.
shook my whole world. That changed me. Then I got married and went through a divorce. That changed me. Then I was in the industry. It was new for me. I had no really emotional intelligence at the time. Um, was clearly ADHD. Didn't know it. Very
Hmm.
impulsive. Didn't know it. Didn't realize it, but very impulsive because I had things going on. Didn't know it. Didn't know at the time I had things going on. I just was responding, reacting to so much that
Hmm.
changed. So responses to that changed me. Then the second divorce changed me. So just life happened and it changed me. And then at some point in life, you stop and you look and you find who you are. You go back to that place and you just take
Hmm.
the change as lessons for you to grow.
Shout out to your mom, Miss Goldia. She's been on the platform before too.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't know that.
yeah, she's been on here. Yep, talking about her writing and everything, and she was talking about
Yeah,
kind of
she
like
did.
life coaching type of thing. She
Mm-hmm.
were talking
Yes,
about
yes,
and
yes,
mental health and all that.
yes.
So yeah,
Mhm.
shout out to her. Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
her.
my mama. Shout out to my
Shout out
mama.
to her. And she is still one of the most beautiful women that regular. Put
Oh,
it this way, she's one of the most beautiful regular women that I've ever seen. Like, and what I mean by regular is that I I've been in
you know her.
contact, not somebody that I seen in a magazine or
You
whatever.
know her.
Right, right. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And I always felt that way about her. She is beautiful inside and out.
yeah,
She is truly a
yeah.
special person. She is
Yes. Thank you
truly
for
a
that.
special person.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely no problem. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. So we're here on Let's Take a Walk, and I'm sitting here with my friend Miss Lisa McClendon, and we've talked about it, pretty much everything under the sun. But we are talking about mood
Mhm.
and the mood that led to mood.
Yes.
And just her journey, and I'm telling you, this is one of the most interesting interviews that I've done
Oh
in
wow.
recent time. This is really good. um what would people be surprised to know about you?
I'm such an open person. I don't think there's nothing too private about me. I think I think we've already shared it. I think people are surprised to know that she does online dating. I think people that didn't realize that I was doing it like she's actively date like yeah, I actively date. Um That's such a great question, but I just don't think I think I've been so transparent that there's not much people don't know about me. I don't think there's much
Well,
people don't know about me.
let's touch on that if you don't mind.
Okay.
What what made you feel comfortable uh going to an app using social media to get into the dating scene, like because
Um,
I feel like, and maybe I'm naive, right? But I feel like women are always being approached, always. You know what I'm saying? So
so that's not true. Uh, they're not always been approached, but you know what? So as it stands now, I'm not on the dating app. I'm not
Okay.
right now. I used to. Um,
Okay.
and the reason why I'm not is because I have, well, it's a revelation to me. I came into a revelation here recently that was like, wait a minute, you keep getting the same, you keep meeting the same people when you go to the same places.
Gotcha.
So start going to a different gas station. Start going to different Publix. Start
Hmm.
going to different, it's like sometimes it's just a matter of going someplace different. I hear that complaint all the time. Ain't no men, well, maybe you're going to the same places. Go
Right.
someplace
Right.
different. Go pump
Right.
gas someplace different. Go buy your groceries someplace different. Go shop at a different place. Go at a different
Right.
time. And I just said that to
Mhm.
myself recently. If you go to the same place, you're gonna meet the same people. If you
Gotcha.
if you have the same mindset, you're gonna act the same way. So it's like do something different. So that's what I'm practicing now. Again, I'm not really looking to be dating, but if I cross somebody who catches my attention, I want to position myself to be in that place. I already know what I want to get where I've been. It's the same
Right.
people. So I just need to go someplace different. And so that's what you good girl. I hear you, Marisha. Yeah, we have to learn how, and I just think that's maybe the women who are being approached are out there because they're doing just that. They're going someplace different. So that's been my
Hmm.
practice. Do something, go someplace different.
Got you. Got you.
Mhm.
Um, so how is the children's book doing?
Yeah. So LJ the Great, The Adventures of LJ the Great, that's already I'm proud of myself. That first book. And she's so sweet. Hey. Um, so I am preparing to release the second book of that three-part series.
Okay.
Um, so I don't have a date as of yet because I really wanted to focus on the music. But it did cross my mind recently, like, hey, we gotta get that second book out, and we gotta get that third book out so that I can
Mhm.
start the next series, which will be a book based on my daughter. So LJ the Great is based on my son. So now I want to do
Mhm.
something based on my daughter. And I also want to do I'm really considering doing a podcast. I've been on the fence about that for months now to really talk about relationships, but really to really hone into empowering women on how to have healthy relationships with themselves, because that's the journey I've been on. Like I'm
Mhm.
I'm good for I'm good for throwing up deuces to anybody who it might take me a minute because I'm trying to figure out if I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Am I giving you a fair chance? But once I have made up in my mind that, oh, no, you toxic, I don't have a problem with giving you two fingers up
Right.
because I love me
Right.
too much to be staying
Right.
here with your foolishness. We're not doing
Got
this.
you. Got you.
And I wasn't
Got
always able to do that. I wasn't always able to do that.
you. Right. Wow. That's awesome. And I really enjoy. I'm really enjoying this. Like
Yeah.
you have like really. Um.
Yay. Yay.
Again, I want to thank you for uh just taking the time out. I
Yes,
know that
man.
you have so much stuff to do. So I just really only have one more official question for you. It's a question that I've asked you before, and it's also a question I ask all my guests. But we're gonna
Okay.
see how consistent you really are.
Okay.
So here's the question. What would have to happen in your life if it hasn't happened already for you to consider your life a success? What does
What?
success what does success look like for you specifically?
Dude, peace, peace of mind. That is hands down. And you could probably ask me that in another 100 years. That has to be the consistent answer. Regardless of what answer I ever give, it has to be some way, some form, some fashion tied to peace. Because think about so many people who've been successful and have taken their lives. If you
Right,
don't have peace of mind, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't have peace of mind, it doesn't matter who's in your space. You can never get away from you.
right.
You can never get away from you. I cannot escape me. So I gotta have peace here and peace here. So that hands down is most important. More than anything in the world, I have to have peace. That's success. It starts there. When I got that, I can add everything else. But that's my foundation.
That is a fact. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, we've talked about a lot of different things,
Yes.
and I have enjoyed every minute of. I still feel like we just kind of scratching the surface, but
Part
hey,
two. Let's do part two
yeah,
soon. Yes.
absolutely, absolutely. I want to tell you right now that you have an open invitation to come whenever you want. If there's something that you want to promote, there's something you want to put out when the book comes out, please hit me
Okay.
up. Whatever, whatever
Do.
you got going on.
We'll do.
Um, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, maybe they heard something on here that inspired them, or maybe they want you to kind of expound on something maybe that you said, or they just want to learn more about Miss Lisa McClendon. How um, how could they get in touch with you?
Well, they can always follow social media. I am Lisa McClendon is I Instagram, and Lisa McClendon Music is my Facebook page. Um, and then you can also email at Lisa McClendon Music at gmail.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Miss Marisha, you can watch the playback. You can watch it from the beginning on YouTube. You can go on my page to watch it. You can go on the Let's Take a Walk page and watch it. So don't fret. You can watch it as many times if you want. I'll even share it to your page if you want. She says she loves your music.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
so again, I thank you and I appreciate you. Um, I wish you much blessings on everything that you have going on.
Thank you.
Um, this is like I said, this has really been a treat for me. Um, I lied to you. I have one last question.
Hmm.
Um, Shout out to Aaron Mitchell. Thanks, man. I appreciate the compliment. I'm trying. I'm trying. Um, once I'm able to listen to all the songs that you've created for this project, if you could have it your way, what what would you want me to learn about you based off of what I'm hearing in the project? If you could have it your way, what do you want people to know about you based off of the project? If you could have it your way.
I think the goal is for people to hear the music and and if they're not already there, to desire to get the piece that I have.
Mm,
They desire to know the formula. What's that formula? What formula has God given her that she is so connected? She is so it looks different in the way she moves, but it makes sense. Because
mm,
I'm not moving like a traditional gospel artist. I'm not moving in that same fashion, and I'm comfortable with that. But she still seems to have such a ridiculous piece. What is that? I would love for people to listen to the music and be interested in having a conversation or listen to me have a conversation about how I got that. What does she know that I don't know about God? What is she tapped into but maybe I missed or I haven't caught yet? And I say that because it reminds me it's been several years now, but I was on I was still living in Jacksonville at the time. I was doing a live on Facebook, and a friend of mine at the time, she was in my spirit earlier that morning, but I just got so busy and I just forgot to reach out to her. But it was on me heavy to reach out to her. And I was on live and I was in a park. And when I got off live, I put my phone down. I was just enjoying the park. I was sitting in my blanket, and this girl walks up on me. And I'm looking at her like, how did you know I was here? She
yeah.
said, look, friend, I saw you on live and I looked in the background to figure out where you were because I had to find you. Now, mind you, God had put it on my heart that morning. So God
Wow.
got her to me and she said to me, she said, I need to know what you have tapped into because I need it.
Mm,
And like
mm.
that's what her word. She said, I need. She said, I'm looking at you, friend, and I know you, and you just grew overnight. Like it's like an overnight growth. What did you know that I don't know? And I just told her, I said, I want you to look around this park. So y'all see how big this park is? I said at some point, this park, this space, we can go beyond this park. At some point, you can keep walking and you're going to walk past this part. And she was like, yeah. I said, and I feel like that's where I am. I have walked out of everybody's limitations of who God is, and I kept walking. And I'm seeing everything that God is, because y'all have kept me. It's like being the slave and you can't leave the plantation. And all you know is the plantation. And then you finally get off the plantation. You're like, wait a minute. It's a whole world out here. There's a whole other side of God that I didn't know. Wait a minute. God do use other people besides church folk to bring me to bless God.
Right. That's a fact.
And you cannot tell me, if God can use a donkey to save a man's life, God can't use somebody who may not have the same faith to say something that'll wake me up, that'll get my attention. That's happened to me so many times. People have stopped me in stores and say, I don't know who you are, but I'm looking at them like, now, if that wasn't God, no, that person is clearly, not what somebody would think they should be or what they are. And I'm just like, don't tell me that God won't use whatever God needs to use. So I think that's important. That is important to me. That's important to me because I just want people to stop being limited. I want them to stop limiting what they can have and who they can be and who created them. That's important.
Awesome. Listen, I could go another hour, but I'm not going to do that.
We're going to do part two. When
Absolutely.
My next video, we'll do a part two.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you want to say to the people before we sign off?
Nothing, just, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all support. Make sure y'all go stream or purchase Mood. It's on all platforms, Apple. Right now, my personal goal is to stream it, get at least 1,000 streams on Spotify. That's easy. We could do that. Come on, y'all. Come on, we could do that.
Lisa, I apologize. I got one question I forgot to ask you.
Yeah, what?
Okay, so yesterday, doing this podcast, I meet people and stuff, and I build relationships with people or whatever. So there's a artist manager that I became really cool with, and so she called me yesterday, and she was saying how there's a new program coming in place where they're taking away the BDS power from the radio stations. And now they're not going to be able to report BDS except through MediaBase now. And MediaBase is like a subscription-based program that's like super expensive. It's like $500 plus a month or something like that. And I was wondering if you had heard about that.
I haven't heard about it. I mean, I can't speak against what she's saying because I don't know. I just know that it's very important for artists to make sure that they add the metadata to their, if you don't know what that is, just Google it and go to a how to add metadata, because that metadata, it's embedded in your music, and no matter where your music is played, your performance rights group or publishing company, whatever, will get you your money. So I maybe that's something that maybe that's confined just to radio. Perhaps that might just be a radio thing, but it's so many. It might. But there's so many other ways to make money. Like I just got a check that I wasn't even expecting from Facebook. And I'm like, why did I check from Facebook? Because my songs are being played on the reels. And that's another thing I would like to ask the audience. Like, hey guys, when y'all are doing y'all reels, make sure you add Lisa McClendon. Do some reels with Lisa McClendon music. It really helps us. I didn't know that. And I was like, well, praise God. Because that just paid for my trip to this, I was just like, wasn't even expecting it. So there's other means of getting paid besides radio, but radio is good. Radio is definitely good to have. I haven't heard that. I'm definitely gonna look into it though. But a lot of my money, I still get royalty checks.
Yeah, supposedly it's supposed to start November 1st.
Well, I'm definitely gonna go look at it now. But I know that it can't be connected to social media or streaming. That might just be confined to radio. And I haven't heard those words in a long time. BDS, I haven't heard those words in those letters in a long time. Because you mainly hear that. Usually, I hear that in mainstream. Mainstream music on the more. But yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Okay, I promise that was the last thing.
That was a little industry moment for the people.
Right. All right.
Now, he could have asked me that. He could have DM'd me that question.
Okay. 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 Well, Lisa, I mean, again, I thank you, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, same here.
I know that you are super busy and, super booked and all that. So for you
This
to
is
take
fun.
time out is,
This is fun.
is really dope, and I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Thank you, Michael. Big
Absolutely.
Mike. Thank you. Till next time.
Yes, ma'am. You have an awesome night.
You too.
All right. There you have it, guys. Another awesome interview. I can't even. Yes, then I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. I hope you learned something because I definitely did. I hope you were blessed because I definitely was, definitely am. And as I encourage you, as always, man, follow your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. Back?
Oh no, I thought you wanted me to hold on for a second.
No, no.
Okay.
I
Special. She's special. Love y'all.
She missed us. She missed us, y'all. But I encourage you guys to to do what God is leading you to, move in the direction that He's causing you to move in. People are waiting. There's a group of people that can only receive from you. So, move forward. Do your thing. That being said, I have a good night and a good rest of the weekend. I'm about to go watch some movie with my family, if they're not too upset with me. But anyways, y'all have a good night, man. Let's take a walk.